Hello, my name is Dr. Yaya Sissoko. Today we are going to talk about Chapter 11, Common Resources. Common resources like public goods are not excludable. They are available free of charge to anyone who wants to use them. Common resources, however, are also rival in consumption. This means that so one person use of the common resources reduces other people ability to use it. Therefore, common resources gave rise to a new problem. So, and and policymakers need to be concerned about how much of the common resources should be used. This problem is best known as the tragedy of the commons. So, which is defined as the period that show why common resources are used more than desirable from the society standpoint. So the social the social and private incentive differ in that sense, which arise because of a negative externality. The tragedy of the commons lead to negative externality. This means that one person use of a common resource diminishes other use enjoyable of it. So common resources tend to be used excessively. For instance, in a small town, medieval town where sheep graze on common land, over time as the population grow, so does the number of sheep. So given the fixed amount of land, the grass will begin to disappear because it being you overgrazed. So the township will no longer be able to raise sheep because the private incentive using the land for free outweighs the social incentive using the land carefully. The problem could have been prevented if the town has regulated the number of sheep each farmer could have or auction off the right to use the common land for grazing. Alternatively, the town could have divided the common property between its citizens, therefore turning the land into an excludable commodity. So government can solve the problems of common tragedy by regulation, taxes, or to reduce the consumption of the common resources. So turn the common resources into a private good, for instance. Some important common resources are, for instance, clean air and water. So with pollution of air pollution and water pollution, this will lead to negative externality. So bystander will just breathe the air or drink the water and they get sick. To reduce the pollution, the government can provide regulation on the factory who are polluting or provide collective taxes, peculiar taxes on those factories which will reduce the pollution and then also will lead to cleaner air and cleaner water in that sense. Another example of a common tragedy are congested road. Because of the congestion, then this will lead to negative externality, because too many drivers on the road, and then so they'll be polluting through the smoke coming out, the smoke coming out, the exhaust of the car. In that sense, so in order to reduce the pollution so the government can provide corrective taxes, which is charge driver with tax on gasoline, so which will really, so reduce the number of drivers on the road. Or also the government can also, charge fees, toll fees to, driver using the road. This will also they will reduce the congestion, and then and therefore, will lead to less negative externality. So, some important common resources are also fish, whales, and other wildlife. So, ocean are the least regulated common resources because, so there is no ownership or property rights over the ocean. So, from the country, so there is a need of international cooperation. Countries have to agree to protect both fish, wildlife, and fish well and wildlife in the ocean. But this is very difficult to enforce any agreement. So country can provide fishing and hunting licenses. This will reduce the number of fishing and hunting, and also in that sense, people have to pay fees before they can hunt or they can go fishing. Also provide limit on fishing and hunting season. So providing the season, the people can fish or hunt, then will allow the fish or the animals to grow, so in that sense, so they will avoid depleting, the fish, the fish and the quantity of our animals. Provide limit on the size of the fish. If a fisherman, for instance, captures small fish, they have to release the fish into the water. So this will allow fish to grow to before they can be captured by the fisherman. Limited on quantity of animals killed to a certain number that so that so the government will provide to the hunter that this is the number of fish you can kill during, for instance, a month, for instance. This will protect, so the animals, so in that sense. Why the cow is not extinct? So animals with commercial value are threatened with extinction. One example is the buffalo in North America. There were 60 million buffalo roam in the continent. Yet hunting the buffalo was so popular that during the century, 19th century, that by 1900 the animals population has fallen to 400, so buffaloes, and therefore the government step in to protect the species. So same thing with the elephant, um, in Africa. So elephant, faces similar challenges. So that poacher kill the elephant for the ivory and their tusks. So African country today, like like Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, you know, so so have made it illegal to kill elephant and sell the ivory. So yet this law has been hard to enforce, and the battle between the authority and the poacher has been increasingly violent. Mm. So but by contrast, other countries like Botswana, Malawi, Namibia, and Zimbabwe had made elephant a private good by allowing people to kill elephant, but only those on their property. Landlords now have incentive to preserve the species on their own land, and as a result, elephant population have started to rise. With private ownership and the profit motive now on its side, the African elephant might somehow be as safe from extinction as a cow. Look at this in this picture. This elephant, this cow is asking, "Will the market protect me?" So now the market will not protect this cow because this cow is owned privately. So hunter cannot come and kill the cow because they don't own that cow. So the cow has a commercial value, species continue to thrive. So cow are a private good, you know, being private good, people cannot go hunt cow, so because the cow doesn't belong to them. Ranches are privately owned. Hunter cannot go in, people property and hunt them without the permission. So rancher, make a great effort to maintain cattle population on this range. So to recap the benefit. Elephants are common resources. Poachers, are numerous. They have a strong intention to kill the elephant for the ivory. So, because of that, the government of Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda made it illegal to kill elephant and sell ivory. But it's very hard to enforce this law because this poacher here they just go, so in the forest and kill, so the elephant, and it's very difficult to track them there in that sense. So because of that, there is a decreasing population of elephant in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. However, government of Botswana, Malawi, Namibia, and Zimbabwe have made elephant a private good like a cow as a private good. People can kill elephant on their own property. So landowners have incentive now to preserve the species, and therefore elephant population start to rise in this country, Botswana, Malawi, Namibia, and Zimbabwe. So, what is the importance of property rights? So, market fails to allocate resources efficiently because property rights are not well established. There is no property right. You cannot protect the resources because you cannot exclude people of using the resources because everybody has the right to use the resources. You cannot exclude them of using the resources. So some of the item does not have an owner with the legal authority to control it. The government can potentially solve the problem of a property right. The government will help define property right and thereby unleash the market forces. The government will regulate private behavior and then use tax revenue to supply a good that market fails to supply. This is the end of chapter 11. Thank you.